What are the common pitfalls on the spiritual path? Wow, there are quite a few pitfalls all over the place, but let's pick a handful of the more common pitfalls. One of the common pitfalls is that we tend to choose a practice and we find that either somebody recommended it to us or we tried it and it seemed beneficial, and we then start using that practice. And what happens is at a certain point in time, that practice may no longer be the optimal practice for you. But since it has helped you to some degree, we may kind of get attached to that practice, and we may, without knowing it, we may turn down other possible practices which are actually more relevant, useful, and productive at where we're at now. So I would say every so often, this could be maybe every couple of years, reevaluate your practices and always stay open so that you are always looking at where am I now and what do I need, rather than I already know what's good for me. So stay open. Also know that as you start developing your inner faculties, there's increasingly internal resources and guidance that starts becoming more significant. So when we start out, we do want external support and resources, and there's incredible resources available. Use your discernment, pick good resources, but recognize that there comes a time when you are directly being guided by infinity. And when you start feeling that, you want to be ready and receptive and very quick to adapt to that, because that will give you the most optimal guidance for this moment in time. So you want to continuously be alert, aware, open, and receptive. So this is shifting to inner guidance when that starts becoming dominant. Other pitfalls including, I mentioned practices, but even traditions and teachers, whatever we choose, we want to also make sure we're not getting married to some structure and losing the essence. Because when we are looking for truth, we're really looking for the ultimate truth, which lies beyond all traditions. So when we start going down a particular path, and we may find certain traditions very beneficial, we may, without realizing it, buy into the structural component of that tradition. And that structural component is simply a structure, and it's a set of whatever beliefs, practices, dogmas that exist. You want to always be looking for essence, whether you're in a formal tradition or not. Keep your eyes on the essence, and everything else, see that it is potentially supportive, but not the ultimate truth. Next pitfall I would say is discernment is significant. When you choose to work, for example, with a teacher, you want to use your discernment and your intuition so that you can find what is just right for you. And so this also is important with respect to associating with other people who are also seekers, because that can be very supportive, but it also can be a distraction. It can take you off in one of a million directions. So use your discernment with who you hang out with. Use your discernment with respect to teachers, books, resources, etc. And I think if you focus on balance throughout your spiritual life, not becoming too extreme in any direction. For example, just to pick one way of being extreme, is with food. You can start fixating on food and say, if I eat just the right things, I might get enlightened. And so then you can start getting very picky about all kinds of things. And I would say food is very important, but again, it's part of the puzzle. Don't turn any part into the thing. So I think those are some of the typical pitfalls, important pitfalls, and I'm sure at some point we could do a part 2 of pitfalls. When you choose light, life becomes increasingly joyful, purposeful, and inspired. I invite you to join me to explore the realms of light, the infinite possibilities that light offers.